Hey y'all, it's me, Candy. Um, yeah, I think I introduced the date. Um, Thursday, May 28, 2020. Well, so here's proof that, I'm back on the streets again. You know, probably for one or two more nights, whenever I get that $150, I can stay another little bit in a hotel or motel again. But it's me back on the streets. My little bag, you know. So, me trying to air my shoes and feet out, because from the rain from yesterday, got ants on the ground, and it was mosquitoes, ants, and stuff like that, and who knows what else biting. But like, I'm feeling an emotional, depressed feeling again, and I'm telling myself I'm gonna survive this. I mean, earlier I had to panhandle for just a few dollars. Me, trying to approach people humbly and say that I'm sorry to bother you. I don't mean to be a burden. I'm not asking for too much. You have any change to spare? Just for dinner to eat. I'm not asking for too much. Most people were okay. I think I may have encountered one rude female, but at least 4 rude guys. And it seemed like, I think people, some people would go out of their way to, buy you something on their debit card, but, not everybody would do that. But some people, if they don't have any change, or some people be like, well, come on, I'll go and buy you dinner. But then, so one thing I had to learn is not to ask for any advance money, like any money in advance. Like, if I'm ask for money, like, say if I just ate and I ask for money, then they're gonna want to try to test you, and if you be like, well, I just ate, I'm just asking like for dinner later on, and then they'll try to test you to try to be like, yeah, I don't trust you because you're gonna go and spend the money on drugs or something like that. So I had to learn that to just, like, say if I try to panhandle and meet a goal, so like, well, I'm gonna panhandle enough for money between today and Sunday. That won't work. And if I be like, well, my goal is $25 between today and Sunday, and I'll stretch that won't work. So I have to ask for, like, in the moment during that meal. So I was able to raise $6 for dinner tonight and spend the last bit of my tiny little change left. So I'm glad I was able to eat, but it started to get discouraging and frustrating. That's mainly, it seems like, attitude-wise, it seems like women seem like they're caring and more compassionate than men. But the independent fundamental Baptists make it like as if women are more evil than men. It breaks my heart that when a man is cruel and cold-hearted to a woman, I mean, people in general being cold to people, but it gets to me worse when it's a male doing it to a female, cruel and abusive for no reason, So I try to challenge myself, to not get discouraged with the rejection and So, if any of y'all can see that I don't do drugs. I have a bachelor's degree, and y'all know that, with my targeting and stuff like that's why I'm in the predicament that I'm in. I don't do drugs. I hate the smell of cigarettes, and I don't even drink. So, I was like 22 years old, and the foster mom was like, "You can't drink." I was old enough to drink. What you mean I can't drink? So the woman condemned me for drinking coffee at 22 years old. Yeah, I'm going to keep talking about her. So, so it's like one man just, like two men had cold-heartedly just like, nope. Just like that. I'm like, wow, that's cold. Just cold. Like, straight up, nope. Or they'll, before you can even open your mouth, they already, like, I may look homeless, maybe. This the clothes I'm wearing. This my little bag right here. The moment I open my mouth, I guess my hair looks homeless. But nowadays I get compliments on my hair. But in the past, during my teenage years, I used to get insults and abuse, So, they had these people who got out of a SUV. I think it was a Jeep SUV. And the woman, like they had a few women, one of the women was nice and politely told me she didn't have it, but the gay man, he had something to say, like, before I can even open my mouth. Like, no, we don't have any money. He must have been a perp, because, how the hell in advance before I can even open my mouth? So I figure whoever is rude to me, I guess, is the perps, the gang stalking perps. And then they had people driving around filming me. Had no shame in aiming their phone at me. But when I do it to them, are you filming me? So, they can film you. But it's like I've been, like, they gang stalked me more heavily. Wow, that looked like the police over there. I hope it's not. Well, they haven't had a problem with me. Nobody said anything all this time. It looked like they parked or something over there. And I hope they leave me alone. Well, so it's like the man was rude to me and had something to say before I can even open my mouth. And then, like, he had something to say before I can open my mouth. And then I said, you know what? I said, you're going to end up going to hell for not loving your neighbor. And then he's like, it triggered me and upset me that he's like, we didn't ask you for any money. It's like he was playing psych games by, trying to say, we didn't ask you for any money. And so then I said, gas, I was, just mad, frustrated, But then they had this black lady who gave me $5, but she acted like she didn't want to give it to me, I wasn't pushy at all or anything like that. But she had kind of like an attitude, but, she gave me $5. And there was a man, he was humble and nice, and he gave me $1, So, all these people who be like, excuse me, I'd be like, excuse me, you have an exchange to spare, like $5 or just for something to eat? I'm not asking for too much. Oh, sorry, don't have any cash. Then next they go into the World of Beers place and go order drinks. and then with a deceitful looking smile on their face, tip the bartender, the bartender or the waitress $50 because they sexually want that woman based on how she look. I've seen it with my own eyes, you know. Not that they're obligated or owe me anything like that, but I'm just saying how fucked up people are, you know, that just because you think that somebody looks a person's genetic looks is more deserving. I mean, she's already has her own house, drive a nice car, doesn't need much of nothing, and here's a person in need, and you'll have more compassion on a stray cat or a stray dog than a homeless human. And then it's like humanity needs to realize, you know, how warped their minds are, and those are the same people who glorify themselves as being more logical or having more sense than me. You know, it's like you think you have more sense than me, but you don't have enough sense to have compassion on your fellow human. You know, I mean, I realized when I had my little small outburst, I realized, you know, I'm like, oop, that's not a good look, you know. But it's like I was triggered when he tried to play psych games and be like, we didn't ask you for any money. You know, so I might have to wait until tomorrow to upload this video. You know, this is my sleep spot where I usually be at. You know, the latest of the time that I've been on the streets. Don't worry, because, oh, you're telling all your business, you're showing all your business. Don't worry, because the perps knew before I told anybody on YouTube. The perps know before I know. But I'm just, for anybody who denies or who think I'm lying about being homeless, think I'm lying about being on the streets, this is me. You know, here you go, my little bag here. You know, but see, an example what happened yesterday with the gay black manager at Denny's is the reason why I don't carry around. And what happened on Christmas, when I just went to, before I can even open my mouth to ask for water, I got kicked out of a place. I can't even carry around a blanket or anything. So it's like a damned if you do, damned if you don't. So if I carry around stuff, you know, I'm not allowed to exist in any place of business. You know, I have to suffer that I can't use even if I had the money to buy something, I mean, can't even ask to use the bathroom or get water or can't buy anything. They just want me out of there. Even if I just carry what I have plus have a blanket or a sleeping bag, straight up discrimination. Not allowed. But then at the same time, if I'm walking around looking like this, people don't take me seriously as a homeless person. And then, you know, like me panhandling, they think I'm full of shit or I'm bullshitting them or just trying to scam or get over on somebody. And they don't believe I'm legitimately homeless, or they think I look too clean or too normal to be homeless. You know, so. But then if I'm on the streets and I have people see my sleeping bag on me, they see me with several bags and a lot of stuff on my buggy. Sometimes on the streets, they'll voluntarily, you know, give me a little more money or some food or something like that, you know. But one thing I hate, and not to sound ungrateful or anything, you know, one thing I hate, you know, I guess it's part of my OCD, and you never know what people, you know, when people give you food that they already ate of, you know, that they already ate off of, you know. But it's like, I read this website one time that said that why should poor and homeless people only be given leftovers or stuff that's about to go bad or expired food, and why shouldn't they be deserving or worthy to have fresh cooked fresh food, just like a rich person who just freshly paid for fresh hot food off the grill or something like that, you know. So, I mean, but it's like, it's like, so I mean, I have, you know, humbled myself, and even though I, like, kind of gagged for a bit, but I humbled myself and accepted, you know, the eating off of food that people gave to me before, and or something like that, you know, and just ate it. Just humbled myself and just ate it, you know. Even though but I didn't get sick or anything, catch a disease or anything like that. But you know, so I'm done with this video for now, and I'll see y'all.